Hello, class. Welcome again to Biblical Foundations. I am your ever genial instructor, Dr. Peter Brown, and I'm looking forward to having you all for this course. It looks like a great group. It's a little bit of a larger group than we've had in the past, which is fantastic. We'll have some awesome discussions. We will dive into the ins and outs of the academic, mostly academic reading of sacred scripture as it's developed down through the ages. And so I'm looking forward to doing that with all of you. And a couple of little notes here. I do have some audio lectures available for some of you who are interested in that. Mostly, in the latter weeks of the course, I'm going to try my best to do audio lectures of the earlier lessons as well. So those of you who are inclined can listen to the lessons rather than read through them. So that there's that. And I also want you to know that I typically, when I teach this course, or actually any course that I teach, I usually will try to have some live office hours throughout the course of the term. And so those of you who would be interested in getting together on some kind of a web conference like Google Hangout or something like that, or Zoom or whatever, and you have time to do that, I would love to use that as a means of supplementing our sort of asynchronous discussion throughout the course. So that's good as well. So again, I look forward to having all of you. For this week's discussion, let's just start out by telling me a little bit specifically about what you've learned about the Bible in general. Have you ever taken a academic course on Scripture? In other words, something that at a university level or higher, or in a seminary? And if so, what's your background with that? So the discussion of the Bible has really kind of taken on its own life and its own direction over the past several hundred years in the history of the church. And so that's going to be a big part of what we wrestle with, but we're going to set the stage in the very early going by studying Dei Verbum much more thoroughly than you've probably had a chance to do before. And then we're going to kind of move on to look more closely at biblical interpretation down through the ages. So I look forward to doing all this with you, and this is great. So just tell me what you've had about the Bible, particularly at an academic level. And it's, of course, fine if you haven't. I'm just kind of curious, where we're starting with this. Some of you are going to be more familiar with the modern approach to sacred scripture and the sort of modern assumptions that you're going to come across whenever you pick up a more recently written commentary. Others are not. So it's good for me to know where we're all coming from. And so we'll start out with that, and then we'll talk there. So answer me that question, and then also tell me if you are interested in a live session. And I usually try to have these in the evening, Eastern time. So I've done a lot. I've done Saturday mornings as well. Sometimes that works, but I've also done sessions in the evening. Sometimes Wednesday or Thursday night seems to work pretty well as well for a lot of people. So let me know, and if there's enough interest, we'll do that again this time. So I look forward to getting to know all of you, and thank you for taking the course. And I will see you on the discussion forum.